Yeah, so we are all set. Give me like 2 seconds. Hi, everyone. We are all set for the digital service tax session led by Elizabeth Nzomo from KRA. And we also have Martha Ngoko, also of KRA. So this is a session to help us understand the digital service tax, which will take effect from January 1st. So she will be explaining who it applies to, what it is, how it's going to be collected, and the questions that have come up about it, as well as any questions that you raise today during the session. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat, as well as on Facebook, and we will have them addressed today. So karibu sana Elizabeth. We are not too late, but we are ready to learn about the digital service tax, and I guess also minimum tax. There seems to be, a confusion around the two. Yeah, but we are ready to learn today. Karibu sana Elizabeth and Martha.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to join your platform. My name is Elizabeth Nzomo from Kenya Revenue Authority. Currently working with the digital economy team, and today I'm eager to train you on digital service tax. Maza Ngoko will be here to assist. So Felicita, I don't know whether everyone is ready so that we can start.
So give me 1 second just to share the link, and then we start.
Okay.
Okay, we are all set now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we start. I know you guys are eager to learn more about the digital service tax. And we are going to first understand what is GST so that you can know how it's taxed and who is taxed and who it targets and the modalities of administration and collection of GST. So, so when we talk about digital service tax, there is the word digital there, which means which involves technology and the changes that there have been in the world currently. Most people are shying away from working from physical shops. Other people are working from home. So everyone is trying to come up with a way whereby they can make their services or goods services available through the internet, their goods available through the internet, unlike before where people used to have shops, used to walk into offices and get services. Nowadays, you can just make a call and get a service. You can just go to the website, to the internet, search for the service that you want, and you get exactly that at the comfort of your home. So due to those changes, it has been noted that the Kenya Revenue Authority or most of the economies have lost tax due to the fact that most people who get taxed are those with physical shops and those who provide physical physical goods at specific places. So those who provide them through the internet are left out. So the different governments and revenue authorities came together and came up with laws or tax that will now direct to those people who provide their services through the internet. So through that interaction, that's where we come up with the word digital marketplace. So in this case, a digital marketplace is a platform that enables the direct interaction between buyers and sellers of goods and services through electronic means. I hope we are together up to that point.
Yes, we are. If there
Yeah,
are
any question?
questions, I will let you know. I'm only seeing those who are saying they can't join with audio. So I'm telling them to activate
Okay.
their audio so that they can hear.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope those who we are together, you've gotten to understand the word digital marketplace. It's a platform where buyers and sellers can meet and interact through electronic means, just like the way we have marketplaces here. Like we have a Kenyatta market, those markets, you find that there's a seller, there's a buyer. But in this case, a digital marketplace, it's through the electronic means. Like you get to your phone or your computer, you look for the goods that you want, you look for the services that you want. Now, when we talk about digital service tax, just as the name suggests, it is a tax that targets the digital services. And that point is very important. You should know that it is a tax that targets the digital services. So it's not the digital goods. So you need to be aware of the difference between a good and a service. In this case, a good is a physical good that is tangible, that you go and buy it from the supermarket, but you can buy it from online. You can get to Jumia and buy the same or any other online platform marketplace. But a service is service, you get to utilize a service. Someone offers you a service. For example, you might need accounting services. And then you get to the internet, you search accountants available or accounting services available near me, you get that service. If you get that service, that is a service that you've gotten it digitally. So it's a digital service. So this kind of tax, also there are so many things. We are going to look at them as we continue with the presentation. The Finance Bill 2020 proposed the introduction of digital service tax payable on income, which is deemed to be derived from or accrued in Kenya through a digital marketplace at the rate of 1.5 of the gross transactional value. So that means if you are the service provider and you're providing service through an online platform or through a digital marketplace, the income that you get from that business is what is charged 1.5%. For example, if I'm providing taxi services or catering services to my customers, I'm going to pay 1.5% of the income that I gain from that interaction or business. Then from there, we're going to look at what is because these are some of the terms that are going to meet or come across from day to day. Digital marketplace supply means the supply of a service made on a digital marketplace. You can see that I've highlighted the word service there because it's not, when I say digital marketplace, I don't mean goods. I don't mean selling your goods on Jumia. Yeah, exactly. I don't mean the way we sell goods on different platforms. It's services. So a digital marketplace supply means the supply of a service made on a digital marketplace. So I know you might be asking yourself, why did the government decide to introduce the digital service tax? The main purpose was to increase the tax base. While I was starting this presentation, I talked about how the world has changed. Like we've grown from having to go to the market and do our shopping from just shopping from the comfort of our homes. Due to that transition from just the normal without technology, that transition has caused the revenue authority to lose a lot of tax because people are shying away from having physical shops and paying taxes. So they opt to operate through the internet and not pay taxes at all. So there was the need to come up with a legal a method of taxing those people who provide their services through the online platforms. This is on the basis that residents, persons, and local branches of non-resident companies are taxed under the income tax regime in Kenya based on their presence in Kenya. Even I know most of us pay our taxes. Those who have businesses or companies, they pay taxes, but you might realize that those people who provide their services online, they don't pay, which is a bit not fair. That's why this DST was handling in this case. So let us look at the services which I'm talking about when I talk about DST, Digital Service Tax. First, we have the downloadable digital content. This includes movies, books, music, online games. For example, in our case, we might talk about Mdundo, Netflix, Showmax. These are downloadable digital content. There are platforms which provide us with music, films, online games, and then we have over-the-top services like, here is where we have the Netflix now. Streaming television shows, film, music. Then we have software programs like drivers, website filters, firewalls. We have services that link the supplier to the recipient. For example, we have the transport hailing services or platforms, the taxi. You find that Uber is a company, for example, provides the transport service. It connects a client to a driver. So the platform itself is providing the service. Then we have subscription-based media, for example, magazines, journals, news. There are different platforms where you can log in and get news. We have journals, a lot of things. Then other services include electronic data management, like website hosting, online data warehouse, file sharing, cloud storage services. We have provision of search engines and automated help desk services. These include supply of customized search engine services, for example, Google, tickets, distance teaching, digital content. I'm sure most of us have bought tickets online for events. We've also done distance teaching, content creation. All those services will be under the digital service tax. Um, okay, we go to the lastly, there we have any other service provided through a digital marketplace that is not exempt under the Act will be also charged under the digital service tax. Then, how will the digital service tax be administered? It will be administered through a simplified framework, just like the iTax. You'll be able to go to your browser or your phone, your laptop, you search iTax, you do a voluntary registration, you key in your details, and then you get your PIN for DST. Those who are not able to do that will be able to use a tax representative in accordance with the law. The agent will comply with the DST laws and regulations and help the taxpayer comply. I hope this far we don't have any questions. If you have any question in regards to the services that the digital service tax targets, you can ask. Felista, you can assist me if anyone has typed in the chat box any question.
So no questions so far. Yeah, I think you've explained well. Okay. So far, I don't see any question.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. Okay, I'm sure you're now getting something out of it.
Yes.
Okay, we continue. Okay, every time, anytime anyone hears the news that you have a new tax, there's always stories here and there. Some people say that, oh, it's going to increase the cost of living, what. So there are some people who argue that digital service tax is going to increase the cost of doing business. In this case, I'd like to inform you that it does not really lead to an increase in the cost of doing business because, one, it is administered at the rate of 1.5%. And also, in this case, there's the aspect of residents and non-residents. For residents, the taxes paid will be treated as advanced taxes, which you can claim on filing of returns. What do I mean by claimable? I mean that when you do your calculations and you pay the 1.5%, at the end of the year, at the end of the tax period, you'll be able to calculate your tax, the company's corporate tax. If it's a company, you'll calculate the corporate tax and then you subtract from the tax that you already paid through DST. So you'll be able to claim it back. But that is for residents. It's claimable at the end of the year. And for non-residents, the tax will be final. By final tax, I mean that their income will be taxed. The income they get from digital service is going to be taxed, but it won't incur any other tax apart from DST. It will be final. Also, you should know that the issue you should note that the issue of pricing is a private affair based on economic business and other conditions not addressed by the tax rules. Oh yeah, pricing is something that is triggered by the economic conditions and the pricing policies in place for different markets. And then again, something that you should note, the digital service tax will be taxed on profits and not on value added like VAT. For VAT, you usually get, if a product is, for example, if a pen is 30 shillings, you do 16% of 30 shillings. So the new cost will be 30 shillings plus VAT. But in this case, it will be done on the profits of that pen. The profit part is the one which you'll charge. You'll take 1.5 multiplied by the profits. That's what you're supposed not to pay as digital service tax. Then that's it about digital service tax. And you should also note that the digital digital market players, if they provide goods which are vatable or have reached the threshold for registering for VAT, should apply for VAT also. So that's it about digital service tax. Felicita.
Just give me a sec. I see a question. Kelvin is asking, is 1.5% charged on each service offered or monthly?
Either whether it's monthly or each, okay, it's charged on every service that you, if let's say you provide for accounting services, you charge 1.5, and the tax is due that moment that you've charged the service. So you're going to charge and remit it.
Okay. And how is the remitting being done?
Currently, it's, I need to confirm the date. I need to confirm that about the exact dates for remitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
but the digital service tax will be effective from January 1st, 2021, and you'll be able to go to iTax and register get the PIN for your company. If you're based online, if you provide your services online, you'll be able to go and apply for the PIN and get it immediately through a simplified.
So a different PIN from the personal. I don't know whether you have a demo for that.
For applying for Nini,
yeah.
What do you call it? Let me see whether I can show you. I don't know how to get out of this.
Go to stop share. Okay. You've stopped. Now you can, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Emmanuel Omondi is asking, a business operating in a digital platform will be subject to DST monthly minimum tax or installment tax, whichever is higher. Is this correct?
Can you repeat that question, please?
So he's asking whether there's DST, the digital service tax, there's minimum tax, there's installment tax. So will one be charged based on the one that is higher, or will one be required to pay all those three taxes? I don't know whether you've gotten it. Her screen seems to have frozen. Martha, might you have an answer for that? Elizabeth's screen looks frozen. Oh.
Hello.
Hi. Oh,
I think
Elizabeth
she's
is back.
back.
Pardon?
I think Elizabeth is back.
Yeah, she's back. Yeah, she's there.
Hello.
Hi. Did you hear the question?
Just come again. I'm trying to see if I can be able to see it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, it's on the watch party. Emmanuel Omondi asked, a business operating in the digital platform will be subject to digital service tax monthly, minimum tax, or installment tax, whichever is higher. Is this accurate? Like, do you pay the higher tax and disregard the rest, or do you pay all the three taxes, digital service tax, minimum tax, installment tax? Okay, he's clarifying, DST will be charged monthly, that is clear. However, how will it be administered? Let's say, for example, when either minimum tax or installment tax is due. Okay, I don't know whether you got that question, but as you think about it, Emmanuel will get back to that. Let me see if the other questions were also answered. Elizabeth, are you able to show us how to go on to KRA and register yourself to pay the tax, the digital service tax? Okay, I don't know whether her sound is working because her mic is on, but I don't seem to see any sound from her end. Martha, are you able to demonstrate for us?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so like say I've been selling online, I don't even know what iTax is, or maybe I have a personal PIN. Is that what I'm supposed to use, or am I supposed to register a new PIN to pay digital service tax?
Felista,
Yeah,
sorry about the connection problem.
no worries.
Okay, with I think my colleague is in the meeting, Kasim. Just in
Okay,
case I break,
okay,
Kasim will continue.
okay.
Kasim, can you hear me?
Kasim? Okay, I think
He's muted. Huh?
yeah,
He's
he had
mute.
unmuted, then
Ask to unmute. Sorry.
Kasim.
Hey, Kasim.
Okay, as we wait for him, maybe you can demonstrate. Like, do I need a new PIN to pay my digital service tax, or do I use the normal PIN that,
Okay, let me just
everyone
continue
has?
before.
Yeah.
A moment, please.
Okay.
Okay, just to repeat something that I mentioned earlier, you should note that DST, digital service tax, is charged on services, not goods.
Oh,
So if
it's
you're
just on
selling online
services only.
goods online, yes, just
Okay.
as the name suggests, digital service tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So those selling goods then pay VAT.
I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay.
I don't know where to go.
Go to the bottom, you'll find the options: mute, stop video, share screen there. Yeah, now we can see the iTax website.
Yeah. I hope you can see the screen now.
Yes,
You're
yes.
going to just type iTax login on your browser, and then you'll click on the iTax login. Is
Yes,
what you'll get.
yes,
Are we together?
yes.
Then after you get here, you're going to say, do you want to apply for a PIN? Yes. You click new PIN registration, assuming now you don't have the PIN.
Okay.
Then you come to taxpayer type. It's internet. You click non-individual.
Okay.
Online
form.
And in this case, you're going to ask for digital service tax.
Yeah.
The business type, whether it's a
So for an individual,
whether if you have a business registration.
Hi.
Hi, Kasim. Elizabeth is breaking off.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I maybe just on the last question. I don't know if you can come on the last question. The last question was dealing with I think it was several questions in one.
No, it
Maybe
was just one question.
Okay. Just come again.
Let me just check again. Give me a second. So the question is, DST will be charged monthly, that is clear, but how will it be administered? Let's say, for example, when there is either minimum tax or installment tax due. So I think this person is wondering if you're paying already DST and again you have minimum tax and installment tax.
Okay, let me just come clear. I don't know. I don't know the person who's asking it. So I guess Emmanuel. Yes. Okay. So I don't know if there'll be a follow-up question from Emmanuel, but what I can say is installment tax and minimum tax are different from DST, so they are standalone. Whether you make a profit or a loss, depending on the situation you have, either installment tax or minimum tax will apply. But DST is it does not have any relationship in terms of your profit or loss, but it only touches on your transaction, your gross transactions per transaction. So it's 1.5 of the transaction that is done online. Your gross transactions online. Sawa.
Yeah, so say I'm selling tickets for 1,000 shillings. So it will be 1.5% of the 1,000 shillings.
Let's not use that example. Let's say you're supplying a service worth 1,000 shillings. Then the DST on that 1,000 shillings will be 1.5% of the 1,000. Then, assuming for that year of income, you have a million, for example, a million tax to pay for that year. You calculate your installment tax. You calculate your taxes and you pay installment in 4 quarters. So you've already paid a quarter of the 1 million in fourth quarter, 6th quarter, 8, the 4 quarters. Then at the end of the year, you will come and deduct it from your total tax for the year. At the same time, you'll also deduct your DST. You understand now?
Yeah.
Yes, so it will be like an advance tax for some sorts.
Okay.
So you pay it advance, you pay it every month, then you will actually deduct or reduce your taxes at the end of the year from your credits, basically.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know if that's clear from Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, if you're still there, maybe you can say if it's clear to you, or if you have a follow-up question, and it will be addressed. Maybe you can take us through, Elizabeth, if you're able to, or maybe you can scroll as Kasim talks. This part where business type, if I'm just a single person registering, I don't even have a company, how do I go about this, registering here?
Hello?
Hi, we can hear you, Kasim. So maybe Elizabeth can scroll as you explain what are you putting: business type, business registration certificate. What if you don't have it? What happens?
Yeah, let me just get you guys. I don't know how much you understand how the career works. Number one, for you to be doing business in Kenya, you need to be having a business permit, and to some extent, you need to be having a PIN, whether you're employed, whether you are doing a small business or something, unless you're doing a Juakali informal work. Maybe at that point you'll not, even the Juakali guys have a business permit. So for DST, if you are trading online and you're getting your payments online, you need to be registered in a bank or a financial institution. So number one, you need to have a business, you need to have a business permit, you need to have a bank account, and just going by the two, of course, you need to have an ID, a passport or something. So for those three requirements, you'll be able to put your documents together and take them to the bank before you register for a bank account. Apply for a bank account. So number one, at that point, you'll be requested to get a PIN number from KRA. That's correct.
Yes.
So number one, you'll not be doing your business without a PIN number, as from 2021, at least. So number one, the issue of you don't have a PIN, you don't have should not be arising in terms of DST. If you're doing your business online, you must be having a PIN number.
Okay.
Yes. So number two, you're either a resident person or you're a non-resident person. So maybe the questions will come in this forum. Are we dealing with residents, or are we dealing with non-residents, or are we dealing with both?
Yeah.
Then we can actually try to sift the questions or direct the questions in terms of residents and non-residents, because the question, if we try mixing non-residents and residents, we'll try to actually get lost in terms of the content we're trying to put forward.
Yeah, we are talking about Kenyans. We're not talking about people, foreigners, or we are just talking about, I'm a Kenyan, I've been selling my oils online, I advertise on Facebook, people call me, I send them via the bus, they pick, they pay me via M-Pesa. So how does this tax apply to me? I don't even have a single business permit. I don't even know what that is, because I don't have a physical shop. I just operate purely online. People send me orders on WhatsApp. I send them photos. They tell me, send me 5 pieces. They send me M-Pesa. I send them the goods via Boda Boda, or so I have not been paying tax, because I have just, been selling my goods on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Not goods, let's talk about services. I've probably been offering writing, editing, video shooting services. And I've not, been paying tax. or sometimes I pay withholding tax because maybe I'm offering a big company and so they withhold and I declare that. But if I'm offering to another small-time person like myself, probably they don't, do withholding tax. So it's just a personal arrangement. I offer the service, they pay me, and life continues. So where do I come in this new DST? Given
Number
that
one,
probably I don't even have a business permit, I just do it a very Juakali way.
maybe you give me a clearer picture.
Okay.
Because I'm not understanding the situation. But what you've just said is you are doing business online. You're preparing your writing materials and all that. So you engage someone online.
Yes.
So someone gives you a job online, and he expects you to deliver maybe by end of the week, maybe Saturday evening.
Yes.
So for that service, you for example get 10,000.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So the service is, of course, it's online writing.
Yeah.
And the payment comes to your bank account, and at the end of the year, you collect all your incomes and you declare. So in this case, the person who is being paid is supposed to declare the 10,000 and submit it to carry as 1.5 and 1.5% will be due at the end of the month. That's fine. Then that is as far as DST is concerned. Of course, the other taxes will apply depending on how the year, the total income for the year is going to pan out.
Okay.
Yeah. So up to there, I think we are clear.
Yes.
So number one, if you're selling, number two, if you're selling, for example, goods, you're preparing some maybe let me say some ornaments, decorations, and all that. Then you're selling through Instagram. Ideally, that one will not fall under an online transaction.
Okay.
It will be just an online advertisement, but it will not be an online. It will not qualify for DST.
Okay.
But it's the same for the Jokali guy who is making the Jokali products on the roadside.
Okay.
And gets to know that there's Instagram and just tries to sell through Instagram so that he gets more market. So that guy will also not qualify for DST, but he'll qualify for other taxes, for example, TOT, normal income tax.
Okay.
Yeah, I up to that, I think I hope you're clear.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So Brian Moe is asking, my question is, if you already have a personal PIN, I don't know, someone needs to put their, if you already have a personal PIN, will you be required to get another PIN? Can I file my digital service tax on my personal PIN?
No, the answer is no. You don't need another PIN. You'll just be able to use your normal, you're already having a PIN number. So in Kenya, you only need one PIN number. And one PIN number is enough for you to do business in Kenya.
Okay. So you won't need to register like the single business and all that, because you're operating as an individual.
Okay, like the single business and all that. Okay, what I maybe I can I'm getting your question. What you're asking is you can operate as an individual.
Yes.
As for example, Kasim, for example.
Yes.
Then you can also operate as a Kasim and company. So you'll have a PIN number for company, and you'll also have a PIN number for your individual.
Yes.
That's okay. That's okay. As long as it's an individual person and a company or a partnership. That's okay. So the different entities, either an individual person, a sole proprietor, a partnership, or a company.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I can add to what Kasim is saying. For Brian's question, he's asking, he already has an existing PIN. If he will need to get another one to register digital tax.
Yes.
And that's what Kasim is saying.
Yeah.
If the business is under like a sole proprietorship business, then it will be under his own personal PIN. But if it is like a business, a limited company or a partnership, then those ones will need to get a different PIN altogether.
Okay, so if I already have a company,
then you'd use that company PIN.
Okay, and then so you come and fill in this form that we are seeing on the screen.
Yes, now that is what I think Elizabeth was going to show us, how to maybe just go about getting digital tax. So Kasim or Elizabeth, if someone has a company PIN and they want to now operate, or rather register for digital tax, is that an obligation, an additional obligation?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask Elizabeth, maybe on the page that you are displaying for us right now, just go to the obligation details and then we can see that. I believe we can all see that there is an additional obligation. We have income tax company, we have income tax partnership, we have income tax payee, and then now there's digital service tax, which you will click and put in the date as after 1st of January.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So these are details as a company you will be having them, but on obligation details is where you will need to select specifically digital tax. So just note that on obligation details, just click on it, Elizabeth.
I was saying, if you want to register for digital service tax, you have to click yes here, and then automatically here it will be selected.
Okay.
It's a new registration.
Okay.
But if it's an old PIN, you're going to log into your portal, then you go to where we have obligations, you add a new obligation now, the digital service tax.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Brian, I don't know whether you're satisfied.
Elizabeth, you could probably check on a few other questions on the chat box if you're able to see. But some of them were just asking about digital tax, how to register. So I would maybe just to also point out, you could have a company and you could as well have, you can have multiple obligations. So you'll only choose if you fall under digital service tax. That's when you'll need to add it if you already have an existing PIN. I hope that is clear.
Brian? I think Brian has disappeared, but yeah.
Yeah, for Brian, he had asked a question which I think has just been answered. His last question was, how do I link my company, an existing company already, to digital? So this is how you do it, just as Elizabeth has shown. You just log into your KRA account. There is a place for amending PIN details.
Okay.
When you amend, this is when now you add the digital service tax. You just click on it, and then now it will be an additional obligation.
Okay.
Yes.
So Emmanuel is back. So he says, I understand how installment tax and minimum tax works. And thanks, Kasim, for being clearer. My question was, what happens, for example, on the 4th month of the year when DST is likely to apply and either minimum or installment tax are due? If, for instance, that month minimum tax is higher than installment tax, meaning the business will pay for DST and minimum tax, which are both based on turnover. I don't know whether that makes sense. Emmanuel, I wish you could join the Zoom and come and articulate your question. But I don't know, has it made sense to you, Martha, Kasim, or Elizabeth?
That one I could probably throw it to the technical team on DST if they've been able to understand it. Is it possible for us to, yeah, I wish you could join the Zoom link so that, yes, Kasim, go ahead.
I think we are confusing, and it's good that Emmanuel joins us so that we actually have an engaging conversation here. From what I've gotten from his question again, he's not from what I'm getting, he's confusing installment tax and minimum tax to begin with.
Tax.
Yes. Minimum tax and installment tax are paid in quarters. So in the fourth quarter, sixth quarter, and 9th and December. So then DST is paid monthly, is filed and declared monthly. So to begin with, even if you're declaring your installment in the fourth quarter, for example, April 2021, you're still going to pay your installment tax if it's due. You're still going to pay your minimum tax if it's due. So there's nothing that is preventing you, or nothing that is giving you an exemption from not filing the ST, if and or vice versa. So the ST will not stop you from declaring installment tax and paying it. At the same time, minimum tax will not stop you from paying DST, and vice versa. DST will not stop you from. It's mutually exclusive. So it's not something that is affecting the other. What I can understand is maybe at the end of the year when you're filing your income tax, corporation tax return, any credits that you have, including DST, you're going to net them off from your taxes at the end of the year.
Okay.
I hope that's clear.
Emmanuel, if you can hear, I don't know whether that has answered you. If not, feel free to join the Zoom. I've posted the link on Facebook. You can join and, ask more clearly if the answer is still not clear. So I don't see any other questions so far. I don't see any other question. But it's now clear that, DST applies to services and not goods. So those who are selling goods are just advertising rather than, selling online. Let me check there were some previous questions that I had shared. Let me check if they've been answered. Oh, and there was a question I have forgotten here from Stella. Just give me a sec. So Stella had asked, why are startups and small SMEs taxed considering the economic environment isn't favorable to them? Also, why a multiplicity of taxes? There's minimum tax, turnover tax, VAT, DST. This is overwhelming for a small business. So she's wondering if, paying all those taxes for a small business, if it doesn't seem to be making sense to her, that she's required to pay the minimum tax, turnover tax, DST, VAT. Maybe you can address that. Who is this? I need to remove this person. Okay, stop share.
Okay.
Okay, I've removed them. I don't know whether you got the question from Stella. Martha or Cass?
Yes, I think the question is valid.
Okay.
However, it depends on what is small, because VAT is up to a threshold of a certain threshold.
Yeah.
So if you're not up to that threshold, you will not be able to be charged for VAT. So that's number one.
Yeah.
But then for minimum tax, you also need to be having up to a certain threshold.
Yes.
So it's unless you've achieved your turnovers are up to the threshold that is required, then you're not considered small. But if you're actually below the threshold, then the only thing that is going to apply is a few of those taxes. If you're saying it's DST will apply across because it doesn't have a threshold at the moment.
Okay.
But then as we move along, because it's a first time tax head.
Yes.
So as we move along, we'll discuss and we'll have an engagement with the stakeholders, of course, and we decide how many of these DST players are actually not getting an incentive from the government, and if so, the government will also look into it and decide if this number of players are actually getting enough supporting the economy as they are standalone. Then they will decide at the right time, the same way they decide to remove certain products from the VAT bracket and so on and so forth.
Okay, so Emmanuel is here. Stella, I hope that answers you. Emmanuel, you can unmute.
I could add something.
Pardon? Oh, you want to add something? Okay.
I could add something to Kasim's point, which is more of just the thresholds that we can see on Stella's question. There is turnover tax. The threshold is between 1 million Kenyan shillings to 50 million Kenyan shillings. That is the threshold for turnover tax. And the threshold for VAT is 5 million Kenyan shillings and above.
Okay.
But in case you are dealing with vatable goods and you are below 5 million, then you would still be you'd still get to register because of the nature of business you would conduct.
Okay.
Yes, so that's just, yeah, that's where maybe now other businesses can fall into if they are not falling into the digital service tax. Yes.
Emmanuel? Okay, as we wait for Emmanuel's to talk, Rosemary says, sorry, I've joined the meeting late. Please explain to me what my tax obligations are. We recently registered a company to import on behalf of sellers at a fee, and they automatically got a PIN. What type of tax are we supposed to pay and when is it due? We are yet to apply for a company bank account. So they seem to be offering a service of importing on behalf of other people. Rosemary, if I'm getting you right. Did you get?
Hi, Kasim. Does this fall under DST, whereby you import goods on behalf of sellers? And actually, there are very many groups nowadays. They form WhatsApp groups. They're about over 200 people. And they bring in things on behalf of people, and then you have to like meet them. You know, there are goods when you're importing, you'll probably find that you need to get if you need like 50 goods, so you look for 50 people at that point in time to be able to get the goods into the country. So I'm just finding out if, Kasim, do you think this falls under DST? Or Elizabeth?
Hi.
Yes, go ahead, we can hear you.
From the question of registering a company for importing on behalf of sellers, it's not relating to DST unless, of course, you're dealing with the services. But just to answer the question, if you import anything in Kenya, whether it is whichever class of goods, for example, vehicles, trading goods, and such. At the point of entry, there are several taxes that you pay. Majorly, it depends on what type of good you're bringing in. If you're bringing in, for example, vertible goods, there's VAT you're going to pay. You're going to pay excess duty. You're going to pay. There are several list of duties you're going to pay there, including in some products, road development levies and all that. So at the point where you're bringing your goods, you'll be given those summaries, and you're told this is how much you're going to pay. If in case you're importing using an agent or a clearing agent, they are the right people who are going to give you those breakdowns of the whatever you need to pay. So if at this point you register a company, at the point where you register a company, there's a linkage that is done. I'm not sure if it's still on because it's usually up and down. There's a link between the registrar and our offices where we are trying to smooth the process of actually getting your documents in order. So if you got your PIN automatically, what you need to do is you just need to liaise with us, and you'll be able to know your obligations. You can visit the nearest Huduma Center and all that. And as long as you have that PIN number, you'll get to know your tax obligations there. I hope I'm clear. Then maybe to the next question. Hello?
Yes.
To the next question for there's someone by the name Ink Hotel. You indicated taxes on profits. Assume I have a tax business and I get a customer online and probably fare is 500. How will I apply digital tax? Well, I don't understand that question. Unless Ink Hotel, you maybe come back clearer. I have not understood that. Stella, okay, your question is okay. The large taxpayer insisted I must pay VAT, yet I had not attained the threshold. As far as the repeated tax was concerned, only WHT applied. What was the accurate position? Number one, maybe if you come clear with that large taxpayer, how much was the consultancy fee or the service? How much was it? And then if there's any withholding taxes that were involved, at the point where the large taxpayer was paying you, he deducted because he said you need to pay VAT. I think there's more to that question, but there are some instances where you are actually forced to do that. Yeah. So maybe if you also come clearer with the situation, and maybe you can get a clearer or the right, correct position, accurate position. Yeah. Let's assume I do online business and I assume I usually pay turnover tax. Will I still pay digital tax? Yes. Just to summarize it, yes. So, customs are paid by the shipping agent who ship and clear the goods. Okay. I think I'm clear. Maybe I just add on to the question for turnover tax and digital tax. Those are two different taxes. So if you qualify for both of them, why not? So I think I'm unless there's any other question, maybe you can. Yes, Ink Hotel. Just to clarify my question, let's say okay. 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 You get a customer online, so you're providing online transport business. So how do you get your customer?
Probably via an app.
Okay.
Okay.
I did indicate that digital tax is on the gross transaction. I don't, unless I mixed some issues. I didn't indicate that it is actually on profit. It is actually on your gross transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your profits will only be taxed at the point of at the point where you're doing your annual income computations. So if, for example, you're doing your annual business computation, and assuming you have you have several clients who are totaling maybe for example 20,000, 20,000, then at the end of the year, you're going to deduct DST from whatever tax you need to pay. Okay, maybe from that presentation, maybe it was a typo. I don't know if it must be a typo from the presentation. Yeah, but the correct position is it's actually 1.5% on your gross transactions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Emmanuel is having difficulties with his mic, so I don't know how he can reach you guys to get an elaboration. He understands tax matters, but there's that bit that he needs a clarification on.
Yeah,
so,
I think we can, what we do. Hello?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We'll, at the end of the engagement, we'll leave our contacts.
Okay.
And I think our the right email addresses and all that. Then I think you can follow up on the same questions if there's nothing clear.
Okay.
Okay.
So Emmanuel, I hope that will work for you now that the mic has an issue. But I don't see any other questions at this point. Yeah, I don't see any other questions at this point. So I think maybe we can have last words as we wrap up.
Yeah, and also maybe we can just share the, Kasim, maybe you can share that on the chat box.
Yes.
Email address in case maybe for Emmanuel's question, then he can reach you. You can see how to sort him out.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Let me just put that up.
Put on the chat box. Then we'll appreciate.
Okay.
Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, just to thank you all so much. Felista, asante sana for having us on the platform.
Karibuni sana. Yeah, I feel we understand it better because initially it was like, is it applying even to goods? But yeah, now it's clear that it applies to services. And yeah, it's clearer. And even how to register online if you already didn't have a PIN, and how to add it to your obligations. That's clearer now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe that leaves us room for us to come back and talk about the other different taxes, seems like.
Yes. As you can see, people don't know which taxes they are supposed to pay. So
yes,
yeah, you can always come back and talk about the various taxes. I know in January, between January and June, most people are thinking about income tax. But yeah, there are also others doing other sorts of engagements which they are not sure which taxes they are supposed to pay.
True.
So yeah, you're always welcome because tax is a matter that a lot of people don't understand. So yeah, you're always welcome to come and address the various tax issues.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kasim, for joining us. Thank you, Elizabeth Nzomo. Totally appreciate, and all our attendees today, and 52 weeks savers as well, and Felista. Yes. And also just to thank God for an opportunity for us to do all this. We are so happy. Yes. I'm so grateful, and I do wish you all a pleasant, or rather a good night.
Yes, thank you so much also, KRA team, Elizabeth, Kasim, and Martha. We understand better and we appreciate you coming on to, you know, demystify these taxes for us so that, you know, we can comply and, you know, do our businesses better. So asanteni sana, and we look forward to hosting you again.
Okay.
Have a good night. Emmanuel, I don't know whether Kasim has shared the email address where you can reach him. But if not, I'll try and get you the email address and I will share it with you later.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks. Have a good night, everyone. Until next time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.